What's up, everybody? Gardenguy community. This is Gardenguy. Whoa, he's already eating the kale. Look at this guy. This is Jonah Sellers. We're starting to call him maybe the tree guy. We'll see what happens. But he is munching on what? Are you munching on, Jonah?
I am munching on the flower pod of a collard plant.
Oh, look at this. Here's
Whoa,
Miss Cream.
Puppy.
Hey, Miss Cream, how you doing?
Sweet girl.
Hey. Awesome. Oh, there's coffee.
Hey, coffee. Such happy dogs.
Mm-hmm. Happy.
Happy puppies, happy puppies.
Cool. Well, so you said this is collards here?
These are really good for you.
Yes.
Packed with nutrients.
Big
And
time.
packed with flavor.
Oh my goodness. Tastes like. What would you call that?
I don't know. There's nothing really to compare it to. It's
No.
so good.
It's like slightly sweet. Not bitter at all. At all. It's like
The best way to describe it is
maybe asparagus. A little bit like
I was gonna say
asparagus.
it does taste a lot like fresh asparagus, but I think that in and of itself is a flavor that is constituting a lot of nutrients. I think it's indicative of minerals.
Yep. Because asparagus, those tap roots, oh my goodness. I've heard they go, what, 10 feet?
14.
14 feet down. I need to grow some asparagus.
Yeah, we do, dude.
But these collards and kale lasted all winter long. It's the last thing I have in the garden before spring planting. And I just know that their roots have gone all throughout all of this no-dig garden. And they're taking that up, and now we're eating it, enjoying it. So good. But today's video is exciting because we're gonna be doing some drying.
We're gonna make some kale and collard chips. Forget those nasty store-bought potato chips and you know, Doritos and all their salts and fats and crap, you know. No. We're gonna show you guys how to make a healthy, delicious snack.
Delicious.
So much better than potato chips.
Cool, so
You'll
you've
never
already-
want another potato chip in your life.
Man, he's talking these up. So what did you do? You went out here, you picked some of the kale. You didn't do the
No,
flowers, did you?
didn't do the flowers, just ate on them.
I'm letting these go to seed so I can save the seed back because I really like this variety.
That's true.
I got them from Miss Rebecca Rhodes. She was kind enough to give me some. And
But
the
it's
flowers are so good.
There's so many.
I mean, that's
you can eat
sweet.
plenty of your own.
Oh yeah, look at that. I mean,
Check out the little bug you got here. He's enjoying that flower.
oh hey buddy. Thanks for pollinating for me. These things are so good. Lovely. Okay, let's go show them how you're doing it.
All right.
Gotta have a dehydrator, right?
Yes. So we're not going to show you the whole process of preparing them because I already did that.
Yeah.
But we'll explain it in detail.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So pretend I'm holding a large bunch of kale and collards in my hand. We're going to take those into the kitchen and we're going to prepare them. So the way we're going to do that is, all right. So say I had fresh kale and collards, I would take a strainer, place them in the strainer, and I would wash them. Our sink has this little spraying function, which is really helpful if you're washing fresh vegetables. But if yours doesn't have that, that's okay. Just rinse them a little bit longer and really work them in there and get, try to get all the dirt and everything off. Then once you're done with that, I took two separate bowls, one for collards, one for kale, and I separated them into the bowl. And as I was separating them, I shredded the kale and I shredded the collards off of their little stems. And I'll show you over here what that looks like. See here, these big thick stems? You just want to shred the leaves off the stem because you do not want to dehydrate these. They will end up like twigs. Nasty.
Good.
So, once you have all of them shredded into the size that you want, I usually shred them into pieces about that big, about the size of a $1/2. And I take this spray oil over here. I take spray olive oil and I spray all of my leaves, all my kale, all my collards with this spray olive oil. And then I work it into them and I spray them a little bit more and I try to get all the dry spots. Then once I'm done spraying them, I take a good, healthy sea salt and I crunch some fresh sea salt over my kale and collards.
I think
And then
Himalayan salt would be great too.
yes, both sea salt and Himalayan salt would be the two healthy salt alternatives that I would use to just normal table salt.
Yeah.
Then I would work those in, work the salt, work the olive oil into them, and then I would take my dehydrator. And if you don't have a dehydrator, you can also use an oven. And I would research online which temperatures would be best to use for your particular oven, because I don't know your oven, so I can't help you there. But it can be done. If you have a dehydrator, the best temperature that I have found to work with is about 100 degrees, right in between 105 and 195, which are the two lowest settings on my dehydrator. I go right in between those, which is about 100 degrees, and I do it for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And right now we're going on 2 hours. And so we'll show you what they look like after 2 hours. So this right here, these are collard chips. As you can see, they're pretty crunchy. They're almost like paper now. And then down here, oh, those are more, those are more collards. There's kale in here somewhere. Here's the kale. As you can see, that's the kale. It's starting to get crunchy, but it's still a little bit soft, so it needs a few more minutes. Probably about another half hour. We'll get it nice and crispy. And once you want, the way you know it's done is when you pick it up and it has that crunch. Kind of like a chip.
Yes. Sweet. Can I try some?
Go for it.
Oh, is that good?
Very good. Very, very good. And it's very simple. You just spread them out, you cover the whole tray, and then you just set it in your dehydrator and set it for about an hour or two at 100 degrees. And then in about 2 hours, you've got yourself some nice, healthy chip alternatives.
Oh, sweet. Let me try this. You hear that?
And another thing that I am about to work on, bonus content.
It's like popcorn.
Mm-hmm. It is like popcorn. And it's quite addictive too. I could sit here and eat all of this, but I'm not.
Wow.
Because I want to make it last. But this right here, this is going to be my new experiment. I haven't tried it yet. This will be the first time. I took sweet potatoes and I peeled all the skins off of them and washed them. And then I took a potato peeler and I peeled the entire potato into these thin little peelings. And what I'm going to do is the same process. I'm going to spray them with olive oil, and I'm going to douse them with sea salt. I'm going to work that into them, and then I'm going to lay them out on these trays on my dehydrator. I'm going to experiment with some different times and different temperatures to figure out which one works best to try to get a healthy alternative to potato chips.
Nice. Dude, looking good.
So hopefully on the next video, we will see how well they turned out.
Sweet. I like it. Man, these are super good. I'm talking like, I could eat those all day. You're right. Wow. I bet you could fit more on each tray.
You would think.
Really?
That was full.
What?
Yep.
Shoot. They shrink.
They shrink a lot. Because literally what you're doing is you're just sucking all the water out.
Yeah.
Which is why dehydrating is one of the best food preservation methods, because all you're doing is taking the moisture out and you're leaving behind at least 95 to 97% of the nutrients and minerals that are in the food. It's just one of the best ways to store your food.
Wow. That's awesome. It's a good fact to know.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Look at this guy. He knows everything.
That is not true. I just know some things.
Mostly everything. Alright guys, thanks for watching the Garden Guy channel. Today we had a little bit of tips on how to make some kale chips. Tips on kale chips. Sounds good. Has a good rhyme to it. Thanks, Jonah. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
See you guys next time.
Guys.